Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, Ryan Wilkes taking you through all the coverage today of Carson-Newman and UVA Wise. Third conference game of the week for Carson-Newman. 2-0 so far, so good after a 5-set win at Tusculum last night. See, that plays a factor into the Eagles' stamina this afternoon. Carson-Newman took the first 2 sets. Tusculum brought it all the way to the 5th set, but the Eagles were able to deal their in-state rivals its first conference loss of the season. Tusculum now 3-1 in conference play. Carson-Newman now sits tied for first with Lenore Ryan, who's yet to lose this season. 13-0 are the Bears. Carson-Newman 8-3, but in position to take over first place in the South Atlantic Conference if it continues to play good volleyball this season. So the Eagles and the Highland Cavaliers getting ready to roll. As I mentioned, both teams wearing white this afternoon. Keep you posted on who is who on each side. Currently, UVA Wise serving left to right. Carson-Newman will be going right to left for you viewers at home as we get ready to roll. Carson-Newman will receive the serve to start this one. Piper Sudduth to serve for the Highland Cavaliers. UVA Wise looking for its first all-time win over Carson-Newman. Carson-Newman controls the all-time series 15-0. Cherry sets up far side. Taylor Kieran a big swing. Nice dig by Sudduth on the back row. Now it's rolled over. Carson-Newman resets. Osmus near side a big swing. The dig on the back row from Scarce. Now cross court. It's Huffnagel who pushes it out of play. Point Carson-Newman. Attacking error to start the scoring this afternoon by the Highland Cavaliers. Not a bad attempt there from Huffnagel as McKenna Hall checks in. Osmus will check out and Hall will head back to serve. 1-0 Carson-Newman early here in set number 1. Thank you for joining me wherever you may be listening or watching from. I do appreciate it. Back row serve from McKenna Hall set up at the net. Poked over by the Highland Cavaliers. McCombs near side for Blake Cherry, who finds the back line and scores. Point Eagles. First kill of the match for either side. It goes to Blake Cherry, as you see, just got it past the middle blockers and found some space on the back row, and Carson-Newman leads early 2-0. Not showing much fatigue after a late match last night. Carson-Newman has come out swinging in this one. Set up at the net, pushed past the back line by Farley, and Carson-Newman gets another point. It's 3-0. Second attacking error for the Highland Cavaliers and 3 total attacks, and Carson-Newman continues to be the aggressors early in this volleyball match. Hall to serve once again for Carson-Newman. 3-0 your score here on the Eagles Sports Network as she gets this one over top of the net. Blake Cherry to her sister Blair. Now Kieran in the middle. Nice dig on the back row from Sudduth as it's poked over by Scarce. Now near side Blake Cherry. Sudduth with the dig. A big swing. Cherry able to keep it alive. Now Blake will have to roll it over. And the Eagles look to scramble in the middle. Cherry will dump it over, looking for that back line. Nice job by Scarce to recover. Huffnagel pushes it past the middle blockers. Point Highland Cavaliers. Livingston will check in now for Mylea Huffnagel. As you see the kill first of the game for, tough to see who that was on the far side. I think it was Huffnagel who got the kill and scored for UVA Wise. It's 3-1 Eagles as Livingston will serve. Cherry sets up in the middle for Kieran, who pushes it too far out of play. Point UVA Wise. First attacking error for the Eagles. Kieran didn't miss that far sideline by much. You see the replay. Tight call there on the back line. It's ruled in favor of UVA Wise, and the Cavaliers are back within 1. Cherry sets up far side. Oldenburger overpowers the middle blockers and scores. Point Eagles, it's 4-2. Nice job on that far side. Actually looked like it might have got a piece of the top of the net. Maybe distracting those blockers for the Highland Cavaliers, and Carson-Newman gets a serve back. Bennett McCombs to serve for the Eagles. Goes back row for Livingston. And a little bit of a miscommunication. Looked like Sudduth was trying to go back and retrieve it, but she was blocked off by Livingston. It's a service ace for Bennett McCombs, and Carson-Newman leads 5-2. McCombs working quickly, heads back to serve once again. Carson-Newman's lead is back to 3. Livingston in the back row. Sudduth sets up far side for Scarce, and it's tipped at the net, scored by UVA Wise. Good call there at the net. Initially looked like it was past the back line, but Carson-Newman did get a piece of it at the net Point UVA Wise. Peterson checks back in. The libero Abigail Curtis checks out. Back and forth action so far. Carson-Newman's had the lead all the way through the first few points of this set. Far side Oldenburger, a smart play to roll it over the middle blockers, but a nice job by Brandon to keep it alive. Now it's a block at the net. Maddie Hurst and Kylie Oldenburger combined on the far side, and Carson-Newman has been very effective at that here in the past week. Double-digit blocks at home against Limestone, replicated that success last night against Tusculum, and continues here this afternoon against UVA Wise. Trinity Hayfie to serve. This one set up the net for Peterson. It's blocked but kept alive by the Cavaliers. Cherry sets up in the middle. Hayfie bumps it over the top. That's Maddie Hurst who just checked in. It's kept alive by UVA Wise. Now Cherry will dump. Southeth keeps it alive. Far side for Wise. Scarce pushes it towards the near side and scores. Nice job by Kaylee Scarce, who saw that near side of the floor wide open and found the sweet spot to score. Point UVA Wise, 6-4 Eagles. So we've got a fast-paced one here in Holt Fieldhouse on a Saturday afternoon. Cherry sets up in the middle. Maddie Hurst, a big swing. She's blocked. It looked like Peterson and Scarce combined in the middle. And UVA Wise gets its first block to make it 6-5. One block apiece for each side, and then we'll get a service error from Riley Brandon. A costly one there. UVA Wise look to be on a little run as Emerson Osmus checks back in. McKenna Hall heads to the bench, and Carson-Newman regains the serve. Blake Cherry to serve for the Eagles. Carson-Newman's lead is 2 here early in set number 1. Cherry back row, tipped around by Livingston. Good job by the Highland Cavaliers to keep it alive. Cherry sets up near side. Emerson Osmus tries to poke it over the top. Now far side, Maddie Hurst, a big swing off the hands of the middle blockers and score. Point Carson-Newman. First kill for Maddie Hurst in her second attack as she's able to overpower the blockers on the outside, and Carson-Newman's lead is back to 3. Cherry to serve once again for the Eagles. Again, not seeing much fatigue from a team that played in the late hours of the night last night as Cherry pushes the serve past the back line. A service error for Carson-Newman and a point for UVA Wise. Mylea Huffnagel checks back in. And Kaylee Scarce will head back to serve for UVA Wise. 8-6 your score here on a Saturday afternoon in Jefferson City as Hayfie receives on the back row. Osmus has to just push it towards the net. Cherry will dump it over. Now far side, Huffnagel just able to poke it over. Cherry mistimed her jump and she gets the kill. Point UVA Wise.